Hello, hello. Welcome to a spiritual episode of Chiquis and Chill. I think a lot of you guys will appreciate this episode. It's something I'm very passionate about. So it's just going to be me and the mic today. Let's get started. This is Chiquis and Chill. Okay, guys, today we're going to be discussing prayer versus meditation. These things probably mean different things to different people. So keep in mind, these are my thoughts. This is my opinion, and I just wanted to share with you guys. So let's start with the difference between the two, because they're two different things. People ask me, okay, should I pray or meditate? I feel that you should do both because they're two different things. So for instance, prayer, the way I see it is that you're plugging yourself into the spiritual realm. You're kind of putting yourself in God's hands. A lot of people don't pray on a daily basis, or they only pray when they need something. And in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I think that we should pray every single day and plug ourselves in, like literally say, okay, I'm going to plug myself in to the spiritual world, into the light. And it's more about thanking than asking. You know how they say it's better to give than to receive? That's kind of how I feel with prayer. Of course, you could pray for people and pray for their well-being and pray for things and say, God, please help me, or God, whatever it is that your desire is or you need at that moment. There's nothing wrong with that. But I always like to start by saying thank you, having an attitude of gratitude. I feel like when you are grateful for what you do have versus just praying for what you want and what you desire, like you're missing such a beautiful gift. You know what I mean? Like you're overseeing, like, okay, I have a roof over my head. Thank you, God. I have clothes on my back. I have food in my refrigerator. I have money in my account. Like, I feel like the more you're grateful for what you have, the more you receive. That's how I see prayer. Now, meditation is just as important. The way I see it is really silencing your mind and taking a moment to just step away from all of the noise and all of the responsibilities, and most importantly, all of yesterday's maybe negative thinking. This is what I like to say. I close my eyes, and of course, I always start with gratitude. I'm like, I'm thankful, because it takes a long time to kind of get into the state of like nothingness and aligning yourself with the universe, with the light as well, but more than anything, silencing your mind and just thinking of blissful things, or just not even thinking at all. It's just, there's so much power in silence. And I use meditation music. I like guided meditations like as well. There are a lot also on YouTube and stuff. And someone can guide you, or you can literally just sit there with like meditation music and just sit and just be. I found this quote that I want to share with you guys because it's about prayer. Here's the quote. Pray about it as much as you think about it. So that's prayer on the prayer side. We kind of talked about that already, but there's this one about meditation. Everything you need, your courage, strength, compassion, and love, everything you need is already within you. So I feel like that's what meditation is. It's kind of reminding you and bringing you back to yourself. Because sometimes we get so caught up in the rat race of life and trying to accomplish and trying to get and want and all this stuff that our humanly like desires want, our flesh, that we forget there's so much to be grateful for. And like, it just brings you back to yourself, to your authentic self is what I feel like meditation is. Here's another one. Silent isn't empty. It's full of answers. So sometimes when you just quiet your mind, it's crazy how you can hear and you can feel things when you just shut it. You know what I mean? No television, no Instagram, no emails. It's just you and your thoughts. And for me, prayer and meditation have become such an essential part of my well-being, part of my self-love, part of my everyday routine, morning and night, because it helps me just feel better. I feel like I'm more successful now. There are times when I wake up late or something and I'm like, oh shit, like I can't meditate today, but I definitely will get on my knees and pray. And I choose to get on my knees, especially at night, because it's a way of like humbling yourself amongst a higher power. Sometimes people could think, oh, Chiquis has it all and she has this and she has that. And like some people might even think that they're powerful and they're better than everyone else. And I feel that it's so important to every day, like humble yourself and get on your knees and just say, hey, I see you. I see who I am, and I'm everything I am because of you, higher power, God, whatever you want to call it. It could be your santos. It could be La Virgencita de Guadalupe. It could be whatever you believe in. It's important to just surrender yourself to that higher power, which is why I choose to get on my knees. Sometimes I don't get on my knees. Sometimes I'm standing up and I'm praying and I'm thanking God. And sometimes it's 5 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour. It doesn't matter the length. And sometimes people are like, well, how do I pray? Just talk. Just say, God, help me. I don't know what to say, but can you just help me? Like, I don't even know how to start this. Like, it's thank you, God. Sometimes it's just thank you, God. Thank you for this day. I love you. I'm here. I'm yours. That's it. Doesn't have to be this huge, elaborate, elegant way of speaking. Like, God, I feel like in the higher power and faith, they hear you no matter how you say. Even like sometimes I'm like, shit, God, like I'm mad. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I cuss and I'm like, okay, I'm not telling you to throw F-bombs all the time, but the universe loves you just the way that you are. Of course, we've got to try to be better, a better version of ourselves every single day. But I did want to put that out there because a lot of people are like, they ask me like, how do I even start? Same thing with meditation. There's guided meditation. There's things on YouTube. There are a lot of books that you could read. And again, it's just literally sitting in silence. And there's guided meditations that will guide you as to what to think and what to say and what colors to see. And now I just got to the point where sometimes I do guided and I like align my chakras. There's like a chakra one. And sometimes I just do my own and I just sit there and I'm like, okay, today's going to be a good day. And I just like recite everything in my mind. And again, some days are shorter than others. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, okay, it's so easy for you to say to meditate, Chiquis, because I've told some of my friends, just meditate, try it. They're like, but I can't, I've tried it. And I sit there and I just think about what I have to do tomorrow and what I have to do later and like all this stuff. And it's like, I get it. Believe me, I get it, you guys. It took me a long time. I want to say like for real, like 6 months to train my mind and bring it back. It's all about just being intentional. I love that word, intentional, but in being intentional and just when you're sitting, your mind is going to be like, okay, because I always like, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. Like the more you recite it in your mind, like you start forgetting about all of the things that you have to do and that you didn't do yesterday and blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes you're like, oh, shoot, but I got to make beans today or something. I don't know. Then you're like, wait. I'm not going to think about that right now. I am grateful. I am grateful that I have beans that I'm going to cook later, but right now is my time. And you have to kind of just, even if you say it out loud, it's better if you say it in your mind, but it's like little by little, it's going to take practice. Practice makes perfect. So the best thing I could tell you is don't give up on it. Even if it's 2 minutes and you just gradually bring it up, from 2 minutes to 5 minutes to eventually you're going to be meditating for 30 minutes and you're not even going to feel it. But it does take time. So be patient with yourself and with the process. And eventually you're going to notice, oh, shoot, this is getting easier and easier. I've been praying my whole life. I used to write down my prayers so I didn't forget on a big piece of paper, huge. I would write, I want to pray for my mom, for my grandma, for my siblings, for this, for that. And it would just get longer and longer and longer because there was like a list of things that I wanted to pray about and I didn't want to forget. So I've been praying my entire life. That's something that has been a part of my family for a long time. We went from Catholic to Christian and then I went from Christian to just spirituality. And I go to churches and it's like, I'm very I respect all religions. I love Catholic Church for some reason. I love Buddhism. I love Christianity. Mi religión es amor. I've told you guys this so many times. I'm not a religious person. Well, I guess I am. My religion is called love. But anyways, before I used to pray in a different way. Now I've learned to pray. Like I just told you guys, I just talk to God. He's my homie. He's my friend. I've been meditating though, consistently for almost 3 years. I think it started, I was going through a really rough patch in 2019, right after I got married. And I started looking into meditation and it helped me so much, especially during the pandemic when we were all in quarantine and I started experiencing anxiety and worried about the future. And it was just causing me a lot of discomfort in my chest and in my mind. And I started just getting into it a little bit deeper. And thank goodness for quarantine because it gave me the time to really dive into it and look into it. And everything happens for a reason. And since then, it's just been amazing. If I don't meditate on a daily basis, I feel the difference. And mind you, there are times when I won't meditate for 4 days in a row because I don't wake up on time, because I'm whatever the case may be, I'm not perfect either, you guys, but I can feel the difference when I don't. It's become such an essential part, an important part of my life that when I don't do it, lo siento. I meditate usually in the morning and I pray morning and night. And at night is when I like to get on my knees and say, thank you, God. And it's short and sweet. Thank you for this day. Help me have a good night's rest, help me wake up good tomorrow, take care of my siblings or children. Like, it's a little shorter at night. And sometimes if I need it, I'll meditate at night. It just all depends. But it has definitely become something that I can't live without. I don't want to live without. And there are a lot of benefits to prayer and meditation. But one of the things that I've absolutely loved and I'm so grateful for, especially meditation, is that when I've been in stressful situations or in drama that is happening around me, or even people talking crap and trying to like pick at me, before I started meditating, I felt like it was easier for me to react. I was more impulsive. I'd go and start like tweeting and sending all these things on Twitter and saying all this stuff. And it's like they accomplished what they wanted, was to get my attention in a negative way. And meditation has helped me stay in my essence and remind me of who I am, of my true essence, which is peace. I don't want to have issues. I don't want drama. And even when like it's helped me in my relationship, even with friendships, things that like sometimes we're not always going to agree. And it's helped me just see the other person for who they are and just take deep breaths. Because meditation, you breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And when you do that, even if you do that like and you're stressed, just breathing profoundly and deeply and holding and releasing, it helps so much. Like you're just less stressed. I think it's helped me also lose weight. It's helped me so much. Like me vale madre el mundo. Like there are times when I'm like, oh, whatever. Everything can literally be just like fucking crumbling down around me. And like, but I'm so sound inside my heart because I meditated that morning and I'm connected that me vale. I'm like, whatever. Tomorrow is going to be better. It's going to be fine. This drama that's happening right now, in a week, no one's going to remember. F it. Stay focused, Janae. Stay focused. And that's my favorite part. Honestly, that's the biggest and most beautiful gift that meditation and prayer has given me. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. It's one that's very close to my heart, and hopefully it helps you guys as much as it's helped me. Thank you for listening to Chiquis and Chill. I am so grateful with every single one of you that take the time to listen to Chiquis and Chill. I love you guys, and I don't say that shit lightly. I love you. Mwah. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and check us out on YouTube.